Hey everyone, welcome to the pre-race chat of the Bwoah Racing League Italian GP of Season 4. We've got the two in-game Ferrari drivers here with us. We got Gouts and Vix356. So boys, let's start off with the season itself. You had a slow start, of course. We've discussed that in chats before. But in the recent couple of races, it seems like y'all are stepping up race on race. In fact, significantly, I wouldn't pick either of you, but just both of you together have stepped up and y'all ended up finishing in the points last race as well. So tell us, how's the season been and how was last race in specific? Start with Vix356.
Yeah, I think starting of the season was very hard because I was just shifting from a joystick to a wheel. But I think now I'm getting used to the wheel and putting in consistent performances. Just trying to drive clean in the start and just trying to keep out of incidents. There's been a bit of bad luck for the Ferrari boys, I think, this season. But we're just trying to enjoy the racing and hopefully bring in more points in the coming weekends.
All right, great. You mentioned a significant point of moving from joystick to wheel, which we'll take up with Gouts as well. You recently moved from controller to wheel and you look even more brilliant, Gouts.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt driving with the wheel is a lot easier than driving with the controller. And yeah, like Vic said, the season in the beginning wasn't really easy, but we've progressed. I think we've come far. And I've been the goal at the moment is to score points consistently, irrespective of where we finish. Constructors, anyway, I mean, we're not really looking to give too much of a fight in the constructors. We're just looking to do our best at the moment. So yeah, Alpha Tauri in P9 is the goal to beat at the moment because we're sitting dead last with about 21 points, with a 21 points deficit to Alpha Tauri. So the goal now is to step up and do better. And yeah, speaking of last race as well, Belgium, I think we did pretty decently. And Silverstone was very disappointing for me for obvious reasons. I mean, imagine being prepared and then forgetting to choose a setup before the race starts. So that was extremely disappointing, especially after coming out of France with a pole position. And yeah, so that's how it's been a roller coaster. But let's see how it goes.
Fair enough. Talk to us about, leading the pack itself, or you found yourself in a unique instance such as that last race around. How did it feel? Do you feel in the possible last couple of races, you will possibly be in the front, going wheel to wheel with a couple of the front runners? Do you feel you can get up to that, get up to speed with the wheel and the game itself?
I think that is definitely a possibility, although I won't overstate my chances because realistically speaking, I mean, to get up to the pace of someone like General Pepe takes a lot of time and practice. And that's time that not many of us really have at the moment. So I try to put in as much time as I can. And I mean, the results prove the kind of time that I'm actually putting in. I've become a lot more better, and this year it's equal performance as well. So I don't have a car to blame. So if it's my fault, it is my fault. So that way, I am putting in some time. I put in about an hour maybe every night, and some nights I don't have time. So those nights I don't put in much. So yeah, I mean, in all honesty, maybe. Starting now a few races, if you've noticed, I have been in the top 5, 6, 7 in quali as well, which has never been my strong point. I mean, I've never been strong in quali, especially if you notice the start of this season itself. I've been qualifying in P12, P13, P14, but somehow managing to finish in the points. But this time I've been qualifying a lot higher than usual. So that is definitely a confidence booster. And yeah, hopefully you will see me among the front runners, hopefully even score a podium. Of course, realistically speaking, again, I don't have the kind of time or experience that KDB and Pepe or Big Man Joe have put in. So I need to work really hard to get up to that level at the moment. So yeah.
but some might say you're actually getting in a lot of practice compared to the others.
Some will say that. Of course, when some get the result they don't want, then they're gonna wanna, they don't want to blame themselves. They don't want to say, okay, it's because I didn't put in enough time or whatever. So at the end of the day, I'm focusing on my own game. I'm focusing on my own race, on my own results. So irrespective of what other people say, I think what's more important is I get what I want in the end.
Brilliant. On that note of last season, in fact, and the topic of equal performance cars, Wix, you've obviously scored podiums in the Bwoah Racing League. Unfortunately, not a single win till date. You were in ever so often a podium finisher last season. How different has it been this season around with equal performance cars? And just the overall lack of pace itself. Would you hold the lack of practice as a reason for that, for your pace lacking compared to last season, or would you blame equal performance cars, or would you say getting to grips with the wheel is the reason?
I think Sarthak, you keep forgetting I have won a race, but it was before you came, just before the season you came, joined DRL.
You guys
But
hold
yeah,
accountable for this all the time, like everybody. Oh, fair enough.
I have had a race
Fair
win in Hungary, that too, in I think season 3 or 2 of DRL. So I've been there, but people have gotten a lot faster since then, and especially I think now I've got used to the wheel. I have a decent pace in the wheel, but I've been making silly mistakes mid race and putting myself in the back foot and hoping for a safety car to get me back into contention. And I think we should not be putting ourselves into that situation. And I think in the coming races, I should aim to clean up my racing and stop making mistakes and spinning out. If I think if we had avoided that in the last few races, we could have got a lot more points. And I think in the coming races, as we inch closer to the end of the season, the aim is to finish higher and at least aim for the mid section of the constructors right now. I think that's realistic. That's still an optimistic goal, I would say, because people are a lot competitive this season. The season has been very good for VIL.
Yep, true. That's cool. Moving on, realistically, as y'all point out ever so often, what is the goal for this weekend for y'all? What is the goal for the pair of y'all who are in the red cars this weekend? Last time around, last season, Nischay, Rusty Nish, was on the top step of the podium. Of course, he didn't have a teammate out on track, if my memory serves me right. But this time around, both of y'all are on track. We will have 2 red cars on track. And seems like, if not even a win, y'all are pretty strong. Y'all are looking strong. So, Italian GP, any predictions for your own results?
Yeah, I think surviving turn one. That's first goal in Monza. But turn one is very hectic, and I think Couts has a lot of poly base now, so probably he will be leading the Ferrari's charge in Monza, and I'll try and help him with probably stay close to him, help him with strategy, and maybe put pressure on the Red Bull boys, keep them away from him. Renault and Red Bull probably. Let's see. I think there's potential for tomorrow, and it's going to be key. I think strategy will be key because split streaming it has a big effect in Monza. So if you're not in DRS range of any car for a long time, you're gonna be racing yourself for the whole race. So it'll be necessary to stay in contention with everyone else and not fall behind too much.
Go ahead, Gouts.
Yeah, in all honesty, again, realistically speaking, as you said, last season a Ferrari did win the race, but realistically speaking, at least maybe it may not be very possible. Of course, given we drive well enough and there are no penalties and the people ahead of us maybe get some penalties, then a top 3 finish is very possible as long as we stay as close to them as possible. Um, but yeah, I mean, the goal is to do our best to finish as high as possible. We don't have a certain a fixed goal per se as to where we want to finish. The goal is to drive as fast as possible, as safe as possible, and finish as high as possible. So whether that's a P1, P2, P3, or a P10, as long as we give it our best, as long as we put in all our efforts, I think the results will be satisfactory because we know how much work we've put in. So as long as we get what we deserve, it's good. It's pretty good.
Awesome. Great to hear. And your closest competitors out on track, who have you all thoroughly enjoyed going wheel to wheel with? Just one last question to wrap it all up. One driver.
So personally, I really haven't had much wheel-to-wheel competition per se, at least not much that I remember. But then, if you're talking about direct rivalries in the league, let's say points-wise, at least in the Drivers' Championship for me, I think I'm closer. Wheel-to-wheel, that reminds me, Horning. I have had a lot of battles with Horning on track this season. If I remember correctly, there was the last race, Belgium, and then there was Hungary, and then, if my memory serves me right, one of the races, Bahrain. We had proper battles in Bahrain as well. So Horning, we've been really close on track, but he has had the better results and he is way ahead in points. Again, if you're talking about direct rivalries, then I think Nishchay, everybody is well aware of the rivalry we possess from last season. So that is something else. And I think after looking at last race, SV has really stepped up his game. He's also got quite some pace, so he's someone to look out for as well. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I mean, overall, the idea is to finish ahead of as many people as possible in the drivers and constructors championship. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I think if I had to highlight one driver, I think it would be Vex. I think Vex and I had really good battles on track this season, but it's a shame. I think he's quote unquote retired right now. Other than him, I think I had a few battles with Danny. Danny's always a good guy to go wheel to wheel against. It's always fun to go wheel to wheel against him because he's really fast and it's really satisfying to pull a move on a driver of his caliber. And if I had to say realistically who I would be fighting right now, I think SV is a good target right now. SV has been a lot racing a lot faster this season and been providing a lot of good action on track for us. And a lot of action doesn't get caught on race director because I think most of my action is happening out of points and out of contention. So, but they are good to wheel battles from my POV. So I'm having good fun in the races, even though maybe points wise it's not showing. So it's going good. Maybe in future we'll have more battles with Sikka, KDB. Maybe KDB is too optimistic for me right now. Yeah, let's see. It's possible. Everything is possible.
Indeed. And I'll remember that on Sunday to make sure I catch your battles. All right, boys. Good luck for Sunday. And I hope we see you all in the front, perhaps. The cars, at least.
Hopefully.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Sarthak. Thanks.
Cheers, Sarthak.